This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So welcome everybody to the April Commission on Disability meeting. We don't have anybody from public speak that I see. So do we have anybody missing? I don't think so, right? Anybody missing from our, so we have a quorum, that's good. Did anybody have a problem with, and was anything missing from the minutes? No. So can we have somebody vote them in?
I'll vote them.
Okay, can I have a second? Aye. Okay, and then all in favor? Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna go right into our speaker. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Hello, my name is Terry Koopman, and I am the outreach specialist with the Universal Access Program, which is a small department within DCR. And I am very grateful to be invited to speak with you all today. And I'm particularly grateful for getting the setup with PowerPoint, because I think what I talk about means a little bit more if I can share pictures with everyone.
DCR?
Pardon me?
What is DCR?
Okay, so DCR is the Department of Conservation and Recreation. Many of you may have heard of DCR. They run the state parks. So most people have heard of DCR, but not everyone is familiar with our division, the Universal Access Program. Okay, so I will talk more off this PowerPoint slide and try and describe a little bit about what you're seeing. Is there a way to make that? Okay. Can everyone see that? It looks a little small. Okay, sorry.
Can we maximize the PowerPoint?
I can make it bigger if I take the captions off. Should I do that?
Okay, you'll be going right after this person.
Or see?
Yeah, can we?
Okay, that's better.
Can you switch it to screen share so that? Does that
Make it
work? So
bigger?
Okay,
if you're screen sharing the screen,
okay.
well, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, that's the best I can do.
Okay,
Okay.
well, this works. So I'll just briefly talk about some of the images at the top. I like photos, like I said. At the top, we have two people in a tandem kayak. In the lower picture, we have two people riding an upright tandem bike. And you were asking, DCR stands for Department of Conservation and Recreation. As I said, they're the ones that manage state parks. We oversee about 450,000 acres. Universal Access Program, UAP, small department within DCR, and we help DCR provide outdoor recreation opportunities at parks, the pools, the rinks, the golf courses for visitors of all abilities. Okay? So this next slide, we have a variety of things. Up at the top, we've got some people hiking with adaptive equipment. To the right, we have a floating beach wheelchair, and at the bottom is an example of an accessible yurt for camping. So DCR, how do we support DCR with accessibility? We do it three ways. One is through site improvements. So we offer advice on like ramps, trails, and beaches. The second thing we do is purchase adaptive equipment, some of which is available for people to use on their own. placed at sites. The third thing we do is we fund adaptive recreation programs, such as adaptive hiking, cycling, kayaking, rowing, swimming, etc. So the first one, we talked about site improvements. Not many people know about this, but we have an extensive list of accessible trails on our website, and it's separated by region. And the list will say the park name, city, town, community. There's the trail name. It talks about how long the accessible trail is, what type of surface it has, and it'll provide a description, including if there's something interesting to see. I also brought, I don't know if people are going to want this, I brought some handouts of some of the suggested trails in the Western region. So the second thing we do is, I mentioned adaptive equipment. We purchase adaptive equipment, and it's used two ways. One, they're used during our adaptive recreation programs. Okay, so again, we've got things like adaptive bikes. We have kayaks with adaptive equipment, canoes with adaptive equipment. We have adaptive golf carts. We have ice sleds, and we have all-terrain wheelchairs. And then the second thing is that some of what we purchase is placed at select locations for people to use on their own. Okay, some example, and we don't put all of the equipment out, but examples of what we put out for people to use on their own would be beach wheelchairs. We have beach mats that are put down so that wheelchairs can get closer to the water. We have ice sleds that are left at a number of the rinks for people to use, and we have adaptive golf carts at the two golf courses that we manage.
The wheelchairs, are they only pushing, or you can move yourself?
The example that was up there? Okay, so this was just an example of a group that is out hiking. And if you're in an adaptive program, they will have a variety of equipment that you can use. The program will haul it out. Whoever it is that we fund to run the program will bring the equipment out, and they will have, some of those are like grit wheelchairs where you do it on your own. But we also, you saw some other examples where, people are basically lifted and moved along that way. And so we have a variety of things.
The beach one in the
Oh, the beach one?
It looks huge.
Okay, so we have two beach wheelchairs. That one in the lower corner with the big tires and the piping, that's like a sand beach wheelchair. And it does require when you use those, you do need someone to push, and you do need someone to help transfer. Okay, and there'll be also examples of floating beach wheelchairs where you can actually go in the water and the arms float, and it's 3 wheels, which is really cool. But again, we suggest with the beach wheelchairs that you bring someone with, and we also suggest that you wear a life vest if you're getting in the water and that sort of thing. But we've got a list of beach wheelchair sites on our website, and some of the beaches have both floating and sand beach wheelchairs. Some have just one, some have the other. It varies, but they are there when there's lifeguards on duty. So it's, pretty much once the summer season starts, those are available. First come, first serve basis, and they're free. That was everything from my memory, because that's not in my PowerPoint, but I do get a lot of requests and inquiries about beach wheelchairs. And we're trying to improve. Yes, sir.
Why a beach wheelchair? I never heard it before.
You never heard of it? Well, the one that's up there is a
Can we see
way
the
for people
screen?
to get out.
Oh, I see.
Oh, it's a way for people to get out on the sand. That one has the big
Yeah.
wheels.
Tell 'em.
And there's other ones that was earlier on where they've got the big wheels, but they also
Right.
have floating arms, and you can go into the water.
So Bob, just so you know, it's impossible to push a regular wheelchair. It's practically impossible to push a regular wheelchair on sand.
Yeah.
So you need special tires.
We
So
also,
that's-
yeah, we also put out mats. There'll be a mat that you can go on, but yes, once you get off the mat, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a problem. Yeah. Okay, now I'd mentioned our adaptive recreation programs that we run. We, for the most part, we contract with providers to run those for us. Our main partners that we work with, like out here, would be All Out Adventures and Holyoke Rose. We also work farther out east with Waypoint, and in summer we work with Easter Seals on a recreational swim program. We also have supportive partners. We call them supportive partners. They offer programs at DCR sites. This would be, for example, Spalding, but we don't necessarily contract with them. We may help them with some equipment. We may help them with a portable toilet, but they're not contracted to run the program for us. So our adaptive recreation programs, they're at set days, on set times, at specific locations across the state. Again, we haul the equipment, for the most part, with the exception of Hadley, we haul the equipment out to the program. We contract with partners who provide the staff support and will match up people with the equipment. We encourage family members and support staff to join, and pre-registration is required. And that, I didn't talk about the picture, sorry, I like this picture. This is actually one up in Hadley on the Norwalk Rail Trail. So we have a picture of someone in a wheelchair tandem, and there is a family member joining them who's just on a regular bike. So this page talks about our program schedules, and I took a little shot of the actual spring program schedule up at the top. There's a QR code for how to access this is available. I have some handouts, but it's available on our website. Our schedules are seasonal, spring, summer, winter, and fall. They'll include the program date, time, location, registration info, and because pretty much to register for them, you contact the provider who we're contracting with to run it, with the exception of winter skating. I do a lot of the registration for winter skating. And we also take the program schedule and we email it out to our contact list. And it's available, as I mentioned, it's available online. You can even download it online. For spring, summer, and fall programs, I have some examples of things that we operate. We've got a recumbent tandem bike there. We've got some people hiking on a boardwalk. We have a group of kayakers that might even be at DAR. And we have a young gentleman using some adaptive golf equipment. We also, as I mentioned, we also do some swimming in summer. In winter, we have some examples of the programs we run. We have ice skating. We have it both indoors at rinks, and when the weather cooperates, we have it at some of the parks. We set up a rink. We also have adaptive cross-country skiing, and there's adaptive hiking, which again, depending on the weather, would include snowshoeing, kick sledding, and that sort of thing. So on this screen, I just tried to highlight from our spring program schedule, which is just published, and it's just for 2 months, some of the things we offer in Western Mass. There's a picture here of 2 people riding a recumbent bike, and there's a picture of someone who is rowing using some adaptive equipment on the Connecticut River with Holyoke Rose. So what we're offering in the next 2 months in the Western Mass region, there's a kayaking at Great Barrington. There is going to be some cycling, and I'm going to say this poorly, in Cheshire, Asher-Wiltzik Rail Trail. I've got to get better at saying that. We have like almost weekly, once it gets going, we've got adaptive cycling at the Norwood Rail Trail in Hadley. And that is one of the few locations where we have a storage area and we don't have to haul the bikes. It's so popular. We have a bunch of different varieties of adaptive bikes there on site. And then we've got adaptive rowing with Holyoke Rows. They offer it. In fact, I think it starts maybe today. Rowing on Thursdays. You just have to set up an appointment to do that. And that was it for my slides. This is a picture. Again, this is someone in Hadley in the rail trail with the daisy glasses and a wheelchair tandem bike. And then this is a picture from skating in East Boston in a rink.
Is this something we could keep and post on our site, the slideshow, or no?
I can send it to you. I've got
Leslie, could you put it up?
Yeah, you mean on our Facebook page?
Yeah.
I can't put the whole slideshow up, but if you would send it to me, I'll see, I can definitely link to their website.
Can you put the graphics on as like JPEG files or something like that?
Yeah,
Just would that work? Like for our purposes?
Yeah. Would that be okay with you if we use some of the pictures from the slideshow?
Oh, absolutely. So yes. In
Great.
fact, I try and post on Facebook and it gets awkward. So I have to like take a photo of just this part and not post it. So I understand it gets complicated. And in fact, I've got a flash drive with it on there right now. If you want the flash drive.
Oh, I mean, to take home with me?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay. I don't have a computer or anything.
No,
with
just
me.
so you know, it's an old flash drive. It's an old flash drive, but I can hand that to you.
That would be wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm sorry, we're digressing there. I can stop sharing.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a
off the top of your
question.
head?
Yeah, just how long you gonna work for? Like, can you go during the day, like just daytime?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. Our adaptive recreation programs, most of them are on specific days at specific times at different locations. So you have to look at here's an example of the spring program schedule.
Okay.
And I brought some, I can pass them out if everyone would
Right.
like.
I would like that.
Okay.
personally.
So, and you have to think in terms of,
Right.
we have to bring the
Right.
equipment out to the location.
Right.
We don't leave, for example, wheelchairs and adaptive bikes out for people to use on their own. I think they tried that at one point, but things get
Yeah.
run and, then they're not. So,
So if I wanted to use,
I'm talking about picture. Yeah.
I'm calling,
So,
House,
there you go. So.
I'm
all
talking
Out
to the
Adventures-
people.
Okay, so there's a
I'm
section.
calling All Out Adventures.
Hello, my
All Out
friends.
Adventures is the one you would contact if you want to do some adaptive cycling.
There was a
On-
guy that came here, Ryan, somebody or other, and he was talking all
Sorry, I
about bikes, and
to them.
he was so excited, but I contacted him like 6 times and he never got back, and the day came and went.
Hello. Well, what we have here is there's 3 ways.
If that came here,
There's 3 ways to contact All Out Adventures. And it's not, this is the section, we're talking the section where we contract with them to run the program. They're not selling the bikes when I'm talking about
Right.
this. So I don't know if Ryan might have been someone who is, I don't know. who
No,
Ryan
he sets it up and he had like a whole list. I'm gonna be here with these types of bikes. If you need a specific one, call us. So I said, oh, I want a tandem one. So me and my boyfriend can give it a try. And he's like, perfect. And then post for months. And then the event came and went. And then I tried a second event. Never heard from him. He was so friendly and so nice. I don't understand what happened.
So I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Ryan. I'm familiar with a lot of the staff at All Out Adventures, but not Ryan per se. The email address in here for All Out does not go to Ryan. It goes to their
Got
program
it.
staff.
Okay.
Okay. And the phone number is not to Ryan. And The Hadley programs are so popular, and I attended some this last season. And actually, I was going to say it's MRC, Massachusetts Rehab Commission, formerly Massachusetts Rehab Commission, Massability. They came out and did some filming of the rail trail, and they had an awesome experience. They could take the camera along the trail and it was fabulous. But the way they run the cycling programs, it depends on you. They may set people up on bikes and then you go off on your own. There's groups that they'll set up on bikes, and then you've got staff in their staff or our staff in front and behind, and you go as a group. It's very flexible, and they have lots, as I said, lots of different types of bike. Very, very popular, really, and it's such a beautiful bike trail. So I really encourage that. And they also do a lot of things at Dar with the kayak. Dar is great for the kayaking and stuff. So we just don't, I think, have Dar for spring.
So let's say I wanted to go, I was with someone who utilized a wheelchair and wanted a mat or a beach chair or something like that for a specific day in June. How far in advance would I need to reserve that equipment? And
Okay, so this is a good question, but I want to point out something. Now, you're not talking about one of our adaptive recreation programs.
no, I'm
that's set
talking
time.
about,
The beach wheelchair, okay, so beach wheelchair. You don't reserve them. It's first come, first serve,
okay,
okay? And they're only available at certain locations. We don't have them at every single DCR beach. And you can reach out directly
Yeah.
to a lot of the beach areas have their own phone number, and you
okay,
can reach out directly
yeah,
if you want to make sure. Or we try
Yeah.
to provide some information online for how you get it. Usually, you'll talk to the staff there and say
Okay.
you want it, and they'll bring it out,
yeah.
and then you can use it.
And each location that says it's available will have, so it's not like there are multiple locations sharing the same equipment that have to be brought from place
Correct.
to place.
The
Okay,
equipment is kept, the beach wheelchair equipment
it's on site.
is
Okay,
kept on site. They have limited numbers depending
Yeah,
on the
okay.
location.
Yeah.
And there you go. Successful.
I'd have to call the site.
So I just always suggest that people, reach
Yeah.
out directly to the beach.
Okay,
Not every single beach has a phone number, but most of them have phone
Yeah.
numbers. And that's really it. The only thing with our beach repairs, it's nice because they're free,
Yeah.
you don't often have access to something
Yeah.
free. You can only use them at the DCR beach itself.
Yeah.
We have, let's say, some beaches out of these that are connected or with
yeah,
other beaches, and you can't bring it to any of the neighboring
Gotcha,
non-DCR
gotcha.
beaches.
yeah. I was just using that as an example. I'm just thinking about any type of equipment.
There's just so you know, there are entities, it's called Smile Mass, where you can you can loan for free.
Yeah.
They'll loan you a beach wheelchair and you can take it where you want.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not us.
We have to move on.
Yeah, okay, I am done talking.
We just have another speaker waiting.
Oh, please, thank you very much. I
Thank you so
appreciate.
much. Yeah. Any last questions before she goes? No?
Thank you.
You look proud,
Meg,
huh?
did you want to take it away?
Sure, Angelique, thank you for having me.
Here you go.
Oh, how's that? Can you hear me?
It's her
Here, yeah.
individual thing, you to be like.
No,
No, it's not.
Give me on TV, huh?
Can you sign out and then come back in? See if that works?
No.
Hello, how about now?
No. Did you know?
So weird.
No.
Dang. Not muted here.
No,
And did you
not
see
muted.
Luis and Stan? Are they not on their cameras?
They're not, they don't have their cameras on, but they're here.
If
And
anyone
the other folks online hear me?
Stan, can you try to say something?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I can.
Stan, did you say something?
Yeah, I can see him.
Oh,
I
so,
saw
Luis,
some people nodding
something?
their heads.
so the problem is the setup in this room then.
Luis and Stan, we can't hear you either.
I think it's on our end, not theirs.
Yeah, should I go get Andy?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, because Google is transcribing what they say, so they're obviously talking.
Fatima. You guys. With that?
I just wanted to remind everybody today that we're gonna be going over to Riverside to have the tour.
That confirmed?
Yep, he wrote back and said yes.
About what?
All right.
So unless he meant no.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
good to know.
and unless I'm losing my mind, that could also be.
No, I didn't actually,
No.
You haven't heard from him.
I didn't, maybe I just didn't follow the rest of that.
And then,
Excuse me,
be there and then something popped
was
up.
there,
So I can't be there, but, maybe I can get him to, I mean, I've walked around there once before, but
Yeah.
maybe he'll let me go in with you or something some other day just to revisit. So the doctor's appointment came up that I can't cancel.
Someone over there say something?
I was trying to,
Good job. Dan, can you talk?
I can talk, yes. I see,
Meg,
I see what I say in the captioning.
go ahead, Meg, say
Hopefully,
something. Okay.
sorry, I was trying to just ask if the tour is Riverside is today, is there going to be another opportunity?
Oh, I don't know. I can't make it today, so maybe if I talk to them, they'll show me and you around.
That sounds good idea.
I'll ask.
The boy is loud.
I think you just
Oh,
replied.
it's really loud. It's too loud for you.
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
that.
Don't worry, my friend. Be out like.
All right, Meg, you can go ahead.
okay. So, I can just talk about the bill or I can share a few slides. Which would you prefer?
Share some slides and then just introduce who you are.
Okay. So, let's, hopefully you can see that.
Nope.
Do you
Nope.
see this?
How about now?
Something else. Sorry.
Now. No, we can't see from remote.
No,
I can't,
no.
no, I can't see your slides. Did you click present now?
Yep. Share this window. No, it just
And you-
says it won't. All right. So why don't I just talk about the bill? I can send a copy of the slides. Angelique, you have one already.
Some people are visual learners, so could you just try one?
Sure. Yeah.
And see what happens. So maybe we can turn that down. He just said it was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out.
Yeah, it just tells me that it's something went wrong. It's not allowed. So I don't know. Seems like the technical gremlins are out today. All right. So
I'll add as co-host. Try it once more.
okay.
Making it lower.
Getting the same error.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I mean, it is what it is. So, my name is Meg Bandera, and I'm the founder of Unpaved Trails for All. And we are a disability-led volunteer group of advocates who are trying to get a bill passed that would increase the amount of unpaved trails that are available to people within Massachusetts. It's great that you had the universal access folks here talking about all of those great experiences. But what's really missing from a lot of our outdoor recreation space is independent access to nature that everyone can use. 36 to 49% of the state's population falls into a category that can benefit from accessible trails. So that's seniors, people with children under age 5, and people who have disabilities. So collectively, we are somewhere between a third and a half of the population of the state, but less than 0.5% of any kind of trails in the state are accessible. And that's mostly paved trails. So what we're really trying to do is increase the amount of unpaved trails. And Easthampton is incredibly unique in that as a community, you have 3 opportunities for accessible unpaved trails right in town. There's Mutter's Field.
That comment one more time, that, so the ones that are accessible are mostly paved, and you're
mostly.
going for the paved
Mhm.
ones to also be accessible.
Yes, so we have about 4,000 miles of unpaved trails in our state parks, but only 7.5 miles are accessible. That's, yeah, a tiny little percentage. But Easthampton's incredibly unique. There are 3 trails. So Mutter's Field, Mount Tom North, and the accessible trail and the Mass Audubon Arcadia property. That's so incredibly unusual. I don't know of another town that has 3 opportunities for an accessible trail. And all 3 trails offer, yeah, yay for Easthampton. All 3 trails offer different types of opportunity, different types of nature settings, and different challenges. So for some folks, Mount Tom North may be too difficult, depending on your equipment or your physicality. You may need non-visual wayfinding and signage, which is available at the Mass Audubon Trail. So they offer different experiences, and that's so unique. But other places in the state, other folks who live just in Holyoke, there's no accessible trails in Holyoke. They have so opportunities for independent access to nature in your community is really important, and it's not equitably distributed across the state. So we are, for the 2nd year in a row, trying to get a Trails for All bill passed. And it is called, the number is S.548 and H.915. And I will put that in the chat. S.548 and H.915 is the number of the bill. And what we're trying to do is get as many organizations and groups supporting the bill as possible. This commission supported the bill last year, and we would very much like for you to once again support it. We have sample letters that we can give you to make the process easier. We're asking individuals and groups that you might belong to sign on to some of our group support letters. That's very easy. It has just a link. You fill out a quick form. We add your name to the letter. We also have this year, which is new, an action alert where you can quickly send a form letter to your senator or state rep, asking them to co-sponsor the bill. And I will say that last year, both the state senator and the state rep for Easthampton did not co-sign this bill. They are not co-signers this year. We would very much like them to be co-signers. So the more that they hear from constituents, people that live in the communities that they represent, the more likely they are to co-sponsor the bill.
Can you say people are so we know who to write to?
Yes, it's Senator Vallis and Representative Gomez. And I can also send, sorry, Luis, what?
And what
Do
was
we
the
have
first-
minutes of who these people are and what the name of the bill is?
Sorry, say that again, Luis.
Do we,
Mhm.
in this committee, have minutes including the names of the bills and who the representatives are? I mean, a lot of us know Omar Gomez, for example. He's from Easthampton.
That's what I'm asking right now. So what was the other person's name? The first person you said?
It's Senator Vallis. I think it's Velis, and I can provide you with the
He's
contact
useless at
information.
everything.
Sorry, I can't. Meg, say it one time. V-E-S.
Velis, I believe, Vallis.
And
Yeah.
you said
Yes.
senator.
Senator. And I can provide you the contact information. We also have a link. I can put that link in the chat. I can send you the link that will just automatically send a form letter directly to both of them.
Do you know
If you
didn't sign it? Did they say? And can you share that with us?
they haven't said why they haven't. It just may not have been something that enough folks asked for. I don't know. But usually when they hear from constituents, they're much more likely to co-sponsor, to support something. And we are having an information meeting tonight. I've sent the slides. I can also put a link to that meeting in the chat. I sent you a link, Angelique, if others want it. I'm happy for that to go to anybody who wants it. The other thing that we've had disability commissions do, we had 16 commissions from across the state supporting the bill last year. And a few of them were successful in getting their city or town government to pass a resolution. And that just means that like municipal government as a whole has said, we support this legislation. And that's also a really powerful thing for the state to see. Go ahead.
Just to be clear so people can follow.
Mhm.
The legislation is saying what? That we want what?
Yeah, so the legislation, last year, it only asked for us to form a trail access work group, which even though the bill didn't pass, we were actually successful in getting to happen because of all the advocacy and support. So this year, the bill goes a little bit further and it kind of formally recognizes the trail access work group, but it also would create a permanent advisory council to help agencies and answer the public questions and information that come up about accessible trails. That would be a permanent resource within the state. And then it would also create a fund where we're hoping funding from the environmental bond bill could be allocated to implement accessible improvements. So that's the three areas that the bill is focusing on. And we're really hoping to get it attached as an issue to the environmental bond bill, which is a large bill that happens every 5 years, and it's happening this year. And that large piece of legislation has a lot of funding allocations, and that would be our best chance of getting funding to help improve accessibility. So we're advocating for the bill on its own, and we're advocating for the bill to also be part of this larger themed legislation that's happening this year. Does anybody have any questions for me? I can put some links in the chat and send you some more information, Angelique.
The stuff that you were gonna share that didn't come through, is that something we could have and then post on our site or no?
Yes, you have the slides. I've sent you those as an email. I'm happy for you to share those. Let's see. I think that's, I'll try to put this in the chat. So here is the meeting for tonight, as well as my email.
I can't see the chat.
It's for me, it's next to how many people are on. It looks like a little speech bubble.
Yeah, you're not in it.
Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's showing up for me, but
How to register to attend. But that's not the slideshow.
yeah, I will send you, I think I've sent you the link to the meeting, but I will send it to you by email again. And you have I will send you a copy of the slides just in case you don't have them, but I think that you do. And what else? Within the slides, so the slideshow, I have a PDF of the slides and I also have a text version. So if you use a screen reader or if the links don't work in the PDF, the links will work in the text document. So you have both. And I think that's all that includes all the information I spoke about today. Any other questions?
Is there like a favorite project you really want to get going?
I think the trail access work group's very important. It's going to assess the entire state and make recommendations for improving accessibility. We were just in Easthampton looking at all 3 trails last week, so that was very exciting. And I just really hope the bill passes this year. And the way that's going to happen is just advocacy, more people saying this is an issue that's important.
Can you explain to people that didn't know why it didn't pass last year?
Why it didn't pass last year, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have a good answer for that. I think what I heard overwhelmingly from legislators and legislative staff is this bill got so much further than we expected it to because it's a small piece of legislation and bills don't pass the first time around. That's mostly what I heard. So I think some of it is just inefficiency, the amount of bills that happen every year. There was no real opposition to it, but I think it's one of those issues that can get buried, like a lot of really important issues.
Got it. That makes sense. That's sad.
Yeah.
Nobody was advocating. It would just peter out because.
Yeah, there wasn't opposition. There was a lot of folks who were in favor of it. We had a hearing. A panel of us testified about how important and life-changing these spaces are and can be. That's something that we'll have to do again this year, and we'll be looking for folks to talk about or write in and give some feedback about their experience. I think the folks who recognize the importance of the issue in the legislature are very much behind this bill. We just need like a little bit more recognition for how the public health benefits, the wellness, quality of life benefits that these spaces encompass, and how independent access to nature is life-changing. I say that because it changed my life. I know the damage it can do when you can't be in nature, and I know the amazing benefits you get when you have the ability to access it if you want it. And I think just more people need to hear about it and understand the importance.
And so this bill is not just for Easthampton.
It's for the whole state.
Okay, so you've been talking
to
many towns about this.
Many towns, yes. We had 16 disability commissions support the bill last year. They came from all across the state. And the goal really of the bill would be to get more towns to have the amazing, options and spaces that Easthampton does. It's really unique, fortunate situation that most towns, if not all towns in Massachusetts, don't experience. I lived in Northampton for 25 years. We don't have an unpaved accessible trail. I was trying to get one in the city for 5 years at least. We don't have one.
Do you have is this something you're doing as a volunteer in your spare time, or do you have a position?
No, this is volunteer. This is disability led, all volunteers.
A lot of hard work is like that. People not being paid, and then spending all their extra hours, like pushing for the good thing for people. Thank you. That's nice of you.
Good job.
Yeah, well, I didn't intend to do it, but it's just one of those things that I'm really passionate about, and it just, somebody needs to do it. So here I am.
Do it.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
to take away, you would like us to contact certain people saying we're in support of it, as a group or individually?
Ideally both. So I would love for you as a commission to sign a letter in support that we can send to legislators and the committees. I have a sample of that letter in the slides. There's a link to it. So that would be great. But then as individuals, anything that you can do to contact your state legislators to spread the word about the bill, we are happy for all the help that we can get raising awareness. If you want to
Now,
help
if-
us advocate, great.
Now, if you have a sample letter,
Mhm.
isn't it gonna look like the same letters coming in, just different people? Does that have an effect on it, that it's not, doesn't look like an original letter?
That's a great question. We have a sample letter because we're trying to make it as easy as possible for folks to sign on and support. But yes, if you customize things, I do think it's a little bit better. So you're welcome to edit it, customize it, write your own letter. You're welcome to do any of those things. We're just trying to make it as easy as possible. So
Okay,
if as easy as possible is signing onto a form letter and changing a couple words, and that's where you are, that is great because it will still show support.
I'm gonna look at my email, I'm gonna forward the PowerPoint that you made or whatever. Is it very lengthy, wordy, or is it more pictures, or what is it, just so I know?
So the information slides are, I would say,
Ah.
information heavy. But again, there's a text version of it. So everything's kind of broken out by slide to try to keep it all clear. And there's image descriptions for any of the images or graphics. But I would say it's text heavy.
Okay, is there anything else you wanna share before we go?
I don't think
Does
so.
that- Have any
Thank you.
questions?
What time is where's the media at?
So it's online. It's 7 to 7:30 tonight. And I will send
Right.
you the link again.
Okay. I could probably, I can go on, just like, you know, have it.
I would have to send that to Jeff Brown.
All right.
Yeah, okay, right, but that, I want to do that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. I'm happy to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to see you all. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Blah, 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 blah.
So we have 10 minutes to finish the rest of our meeting. So Stan, you said you don't have any tidbits today? Okay. Can you bring the agenda one second? And then about the accessibility ordinance, because remember, City Councilor Owen is gone. City Councilor Gomez is in a different job and totally busy. And so they both have all the notes from all the years. And so I talked to City Councilor Brad Riley, who said he was going to call both of them, get the notes, have a meeting with me and Ally. I'm so tired. Eli, who's my ally. Geez, my brain today. Even driving here, I drove to Northampton and was like, where am I going? That's why I was so late. I was like, muscle memory, Bucktown. And so, hopefully, I wanted something for this meeting, but it'll have to be next meeting. So we're gonna work together with Eli and then possibly Connie, the chair of the.
I would strongly recommend Connie.
Well, I don't have a choice. It's whoever covers that area. So if Connie doesn't cover, ordinances, then it's whoever covers ordinances that has to take it over. But thank you for your vote. And right, because this has been going on for years. Slowest of the slow poke thing. This is so silly. We keep having to start over. What do you want it to say? I've been asked that 1,000 times. It's very, very, very clear. Right? Because we have one component where we want to make sure that the city-owned buildings, that's what's in our control. The city-owned buildings need to say what's accessible, what's not accessible, and have a contact information. But I wanted to push it further that all events should require it. I don't know that they can get in trouble if they don't, but like, I would just really like it to be secondhand, regular nature, that you think about people, you know, because there's a lot of elderly people that don't think they have disabilities. They're like, I am just getting old. My body is fading. Right. And now you have a vision impairment. Now you have a hearing impairment, and the disability or disabled has such a bad connotation. Like, oh, I don't want to be associated with that. It's just the reality. Your ears don't work like they used to. It's okay. We just want to make sure that you get a good seat up front and you can hear and you can see and enjoy yourself or whatever. That's all this is about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where did you find it?
What?
The notes for the agenda.
Oh, yeah, the agenda's right here.
Okay. No public speak. Okay. Oh, the other thing, so the collaboration with the Northampton Commission on Disability. So that, just to remind you guys, that's for July. It was for Disability Awareness Month. It was picking a movie, then finding a location. We all have a good time watching the movie. Northampton would pick a different movie on a different date, and then Amherst is included, a different movie on a different date. I believe the one that we picked, Patrice passed the test because they were worried that it didn't have like the captions and everything, but it does.
Yeah.
They were worried that it didn't have audio description.
Yep.
But it does.
Oh, okay.
It does. So we're good because that's such a cute movie.
Yeah, it is. Did you watch the whole thing yet?
No, I watched half of it.
Okay,
And then I
yeah.
wanted to leave a little suspense for myself.
Yes, it is.
I held off. And so,
Angelique,
yeah.
I talked to my boss at ServiceNet, where I now work.
Mhm.
And they said that we would be interested in having a table at the movie screen.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay, so still talk, the Marigold is still fine. We just have to make
Nice.
sure that we have a firm date, because it was something about, can we show it July 5th? It's a holiday. Do we have to move it? But, yeah, that would be good to have that table there. Maybe we could put a table up and just watch the movie from the
So we'll
table.
be doing daytime July 5th.
I would say so, because I want people to be able to bring their kiddos
Yeah.
and not have to hire a babysitter. Or, you know, sometimes kiddos can be left for an hour or two at home alone, but not at night. It
Yeah.
becomes a situation. So, that's where we are with that. So she's got to get back to us, because she's the one that's going to create flyers and whatnot, and it's going to creep up on us faster than I think. And then again, so then we go to World Disability Day, which is December 3rd. And however, hopefully we do good on this. And then if we do good on this, it'll give us a little motivation to do something else on our own.
Yeah. Should probably nail down the date, and the Marigold can promote it on their website too, which is gonna be, you know, if they create a Facebook event, it's gonna get, you know, or if they publicize it, it's gonna do way better than we can.
Right, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Please, let me make sure that July 5th is what we want to do. Are any of you away that weekend, like traveling? May or may not.
The interesting thing is my friend from Alabama is gonna be in town, but I mean.
Are they disabled?
Well, that could be I mean, they work as an OT. They would be interested enough to, I mean, I don't know that I could set aside like 5 hours that day.
Oh, gosh,
But I could-
no.
But I could set aside time for the movie in 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after.
Is it an hour and a half? Remember?
Around there, it's not
Okay.
too long.
Yeah, we don't want to devote the whole day. That's okay. That's too much on people. So, all right, so I'll talk to him about tables, the date, and bringing snackies in because they sell drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, but
We also have a cafe there. Remember that the cafe is,
have some there, man. I wasn't paying attention.
yeah, they have that attached cafe. I don't know what their hours are. So
Okay.
if it's not their regular hours, it might not be open, but that just opened maybe a month and a half ago.
Let me, hear about snackies too. Okay, and can I see it again? And then, of course, we're still looking for new members. We have 4 openings. Sorry, I'm yelling in your ear. Does anybody have any future speaker ideas? I am gonna have the veterans people, the VSO down here, they have a new person, Tom, so I want to bring him in since the other guy left, so we can do some events or collaborate with him, disabled veterans. Any other speaker ideas that we definitely want?
Oh,
I go searching on there. I'm like, I didn't even know you existed and you're only in Northampton. That's sad that all these places are hidden. We're hidden. Nobody even knows we're alive either. And then, oh, okay, any new business before we pick the date in May? Look at a calendar. Do you know what date it is in May or no?
next month.
I don't think so. Does anybody have a calendar in front of them on their phone where they could say the date for May? Because I left my phone in my car apparently.
In my, I don't know.
What do we have for new business that maybe we wanted to chat a little bit about, but then we could put on next month's agenda?
Did you want to talk about the training you sent to everybody?
Yeah, first, why don't you talk about you making posts on the page so you can just let people know what you're doing real quick?
Okay, so, last month didn't happen, but, I'm trying to get some more activity on our Facebook page. And, now from this meeting, I have tons of stuff to post, so I will be active. and
Busy bee.
Busy bee. And it would be great if people would follow the page and like the posts, because that helps us with the Facebook algorithm.
Can they also invite other people? Is that how it goes? Like you can,
I don't know if
okay.
they can, if they're not administrators, but it's possible that you could. You can certainly share posts.
Louise, what?
Louise, go ahead.
No, the May meeting is May 8th.
Thank you. Okay.
Thursday.
So thank you for that help for
I
making
know,
those
it's on a
posts.
Thursday.
I appreciate teamwork.
Yeah,
It helps me.
it was a rough month, but I'm back on the horse.
That's okay. We didn't have anybody doing it before, so,
Angelique.
yes.
What do you know about the door timing? Because I don't think Mark has CC'd me in the actual confirmation, so I'm just trying
It
to.
said 12, I said it's 12:15, okay, and I swear he wrote back yes.
He might have said yes to you and not CC'd the thread.
I don't even have my phone, so I could
Yeah.
check.
And I don't know, for some reason it.
Well, I guess if we go over there and he's like, can't do it today, I guess we all just go back to home and we do it next month. Yes, so the thing, what you were saying is, and Louise has volunteered and Jeff, I think you said you're gonna try, so.
Try, I don't know who would approve. I did, I don't know. That's the thing I asked you if you were interested in, Bryce. I haven't.
Yeah, me.
So what it is, who weren't able to read the email is every year they offer a training through the Boston, Massachusetts Office of Disability. And it's training where they teach you what to look for in buildings and structures and Burger King and whatever, and how to be compliant. It is online. It used to be in Boston. It's online, but it's quite a few hours. It's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I think 2 days in a row. So that is 5 hours a day. And so you would need to take some notes. You know, when it's that much information, it is hard to retain. It is hard when it's just being lectured at you. And so do the best you can do. I really would like to be there, but I don't have chunks of time that are 5 hours free. It's tiring.
Yeah.
But so we have 2 people at least that said they might like to do it. And that, you know, I feel like as the chair, I need to be able to do it at some point so I can do my job better. But temporarily, if a couple of you are doing that, that's helpful. Because that just brings back what our original job was, is to make sure the buildings are okay. And Angelique came in and detoured the whole COD to do a bunch of other stuff because I felt like there's only so many building complaints we can make. I want us to make a difference, and I want us to encompass more disabilities than just handicap accessible stuff. And so I appreciate you guys always supporting me, and because I am doing things a little different, but so this brings it back home, a training. And what I remember is people were complaining like the Burger King door was too heavy, and it's because it's supposed to be 8 pounds and it was over 8 pound pole or something like, so it's very technical stuff like that. So if you're willing to do it, just verify with me and make sure you sign up. That's awesome. Maybe I buy you an ice cream cone afterwards. I'll be like, here's a little gift card to Mount Tom,
Yeah, we can
One time, hey, you want some ice cream? Yeah.
right?
have our meeting down there.
So again, May 8th is our next meeting. Is there any other new business before we close?
Not that ice cream.
Nice. So can I have a motion to close the meeting? Okay. And then who's seconding it?
Second,
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
The gavel has, whatever, gavel.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.